Hello my darlings, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racy and I'm going to be doing your reading today. For those of you who are not familiar with me or new to the channel, these are general energy readings for your collective zodiac sign. It may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't, let it go. Don't force it to fit. Check the other aspects and different placements, in your chart. If you don't know what the other placements are, you can Google different sites that will help you generate a free birth chart, so that you know where the placements are in your chart. You just need your birthday, the time you were born, and where you were born. You don't absolutely need all of those things, but if you have them all, that gives you the most accurate chart. Okay? To give you an idea about what those placements are and what they mean, so that when you look at the other energies, you can kind of get an idea of how they're resonating for you, right? How you can take them. Your sun sign is how other people see you. Your rising sign is how you see yourself. Your moon is the part of you that you have a hard time understanding. It's your shadow aspects. It's what gets triggered to heal. Okay, this is your moon. Your Mercury is your placement of your Mercury is how you're communicating, your style, your tactics. It's what you're doing to communicate. Okay, your Mercury placement. Your Venus is how you love. It's your heart space. It's your divine feminine aspect. We all have divine feminine and masculine qualities. We're all divinely dualistic energies. Alright, so the Venus placement is your heart space. That's what you feel. Okay, that's what your heart space is going through. It's what it wants or doesn't want. It's your divine feminine aspect, your heart space. Your masculine energy is your Mars. So your Mars being the divine masculine, that's what you're passionate about. That's the most likely action you're going to take, the most likely course that's going to unfold, because that's your masculine. That's your egoic mind making choices. That's the pattern, that's the logical pattern. Your highest probable actions. It's not always the best, right? It's not always the best. It's what you're most likely to take. So for the most part, it's karmic, right? So, pay attention to your Mars energy. Your Jupiter, wherever your Jupiter is, it brings you luck. It brings in and creates abundance. It opens doors. It expands your life experience. It creates openings, like new avenues, right? It's lucky. It's very lucky. It's very fortunate turns of event, when luck turns in your favor. That's your Jupiter. Follow your Jupiter placement. Know that any of those, energies would be beneficial to you, okay? Your Saturn is your 3D reality. This is what the outer looks like, right? The manifestation of what's going on in the inner, that's your Saturn placement. Whatever's going on in here is what's manifesting out there. And so Saturn is showing you what's going on out there, what's manifesting in the 3D. All right, this is also, your money, your career, your finances, anything to do with money, because that's the 3D. That's the 3D realm, the egoic realm. Saturn's also ruled by like Capricorn, devil energy, in Tarot. So, it's all of the things that keep us in karma in the 3D. Uranus, your Uranus placement is what catches you by surprise. It's an unexpected possibility. It's a curveball. This is where the divine comes in and inspires somebody with an aha moment or eureka moment, and it completely changes the game because they do something on a whim, like out of left field. That's completely unexpected. So, following your Uranus placement, that could be something going on in the background that can completely throw you off loop, right? That you wouldn't expect if you weren't following it. It's also the conscious mind, right? Where the divine comes into the conscious mind to intervene. Neptune, right? Your Neptune is the emotional, current life healing. It is the reflection. It's going back into your childhood and seeing the programming that was instilled in you, your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about family, structure, love, romance, partnerships, looking at your parents, you know, how you've developed this idea about social circles and society and, you know, all of these things. These are all of the things that were programmed into your being when you were a kid that are still affecting you in this life in your adult relationships. You know, how your childhood programming is negatively affecting your adult relationships, and it's the healing that's going along with that. So Neptune will help you heal what's going on in your subconscious mind, what's manifesting from your subconscious mind because of, you know, childhood traumas or childhood, you know, experiences that affected you. Pluto is your past life karma. So Neptune's this life, Pluto is past lives. These are soul cycles. These are deeper lessons, right? Deeper lessons that have been repeated over and over and over that need to be broken. You know, Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, which is the scorpion. You know, the stinger of the scorpion, the healing that comes along with stuff that's that deep tends to sting. It tends to sting. So, you know, following your Pluto placement, you'll kind of get an idea of where that deep transformational healing is coming from. Doesn't always sting, but it can, and it does most of the time. So it's good to kind of keep an eye on what's coming in with your Pluto placement, so it's not such a sting, right? You have an idea what's going on. Then you have your North Node and South Node. Now, North Node is your destiny. That's your authentic path. That's your highest good. Whatever is going on in your North Node placement, follow your North Node. Follow your North Node. You can't go wrong with your North Node. It's your highest good path, and if you follow it, it'll take you on the most effective and efficient way possible to your destiny. South Node, which is exactly 180 degrees opposite of your North Node, is your karma. Those are the things going on in the now that are keeping you locked in karmic cycles. They could be circumstances, people, energies, but whatever's in your South Node is what's drawing you back. That placement is what's drawing you back into karmic cycles that you don't want to be in. So avoid South Node scenarios. Avoid South Node people. If you start resonating with a certain person popping up in that placement in that reading, and you know that's what that person is, you know. Trust yourself, right? And always check your cusps. With any of your planetary placements, always check the cusps, because it blends the energies between two signs that don't typically mix. And it creates internal conflict within those areas because you're being kind of pulled in two completely directions over it. You know, inside you have these two different energies surrounding it. So keep in mind your cusps, because they're really strong. They're really strong. Cusps are anything that fall in the last 2 degrees of a sign, so at the 28th and 29th degree. Anything that falls on the cusp at 0 degrees, right smack in the middle of the two signs, and anything that's in the 1st or 2nd degree of a sign. Okay, so you have this small little window that's cusps. Make sure that you check them out. It'll really give you a whole lot more about what you're dealing with here and how that's manifesting out there, okay? So with that said, we are diving into Scorpio. We are diving into Scorpio. Scorpio. Before we get into April, I asked the cards from my Psychic Tarot, the Heart deck, and my Wisdom of the Oracle deck, what got you here? What did you just go through that this is what April's energy is about? Okay, so what got you here? Releasing your darkest fears and sticking to the program. Putting in the work. Putting in effort. Letting your darkest fears go. You said goodbye to your fears, Scorpio. And you're just focusing on work, focusing on your day-to-day life. You're letting your fears and your worries and your anxieties go. What keeps you up at night? This is the 9 of Swords. What causes you anxiety, with that mental prison that you were in that was causing you all this stress, you let that shit go. You're focusing on work. Scorpio. And with the number 42 in the vibration, think you're working on something very stable. I think your energy is very balanced. I think that you let these fears go. You're in a good energy space moving into April. All right, so with that said, okay. So Scorpio, definitely in a place of divine oneness, right? Because you've got your 2 cups, your own 2 cups filled, and you're like, you know what, my 2 cups are overfloweth divine. Can I fill another cup? Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. You know, this is someone who, this is someone, because she's very similar to the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Cups, like that whole energy in this deck. And in this side, she's competing with other women or other people. She's competing with other circumstances outside of herself. And in this one, she's not. She's like, you know what? I have filled up my own energy, and I'm ready to fill up even more, like my cup overfloweth. There's no competition. I'm good. Like, not afraid. Not afraid. Absolutely, right? Strength card. She's gotten down in there. You know, she's released her fears. She's probably released some truth too. Taken that hairball out of the lion's mouth. Like her intuition, this divine feminine energy reached in and got the blocks out. Got the blocks out. Now, we do have another character in here who's coming in. And it might be something that you released, right? It might have been someone that you felt was like a dark energy that you released, right? You're focusing on your work. You're filling up your own cups. You know, you're unblocking your throat chakra. You're creating and manifesting. And then we get this Knight of Wands with the 10 of Swords. And he's coming in on a unicorn. So this person might be very special to you. He might be one of a kind, riding in on that unicorn. He might be your one, but he also betrayed you. And this energy is lingering into April. We'll see why. Archetype cards in the reverse, Mentor in the reverse. An inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. So with this energy, Scorpio, because it's talking to you about passing on wisdom, you know, it's pushing you to pass on wisdom that refines a person's character. I think you have to allow, I'm feeling like you have to allow this person a chance at self-mastery. Like if you were teaching this person, because the Knight of Wands, he's not a king. He's young, he's immature, he's reckless, he doesn't know what he's got until it's gone. You know, he's kind of ungrateful, takes what he wants, doesn't really care if it's fair. You know what I mean? He just does him. And I feel like you might have been teaching this person, like when you released your fears, when you unblocked this hairball and stood into your own power, you know, you were being the teacher. You're teaching, you're standing in your own self-love, and you're teaching. When you do that, you create a ripple. And I feel like you've created a ripple with this person who betrayed you, whether you intended for that or not. You sparked a healing with them, and I feel like you have to allow them the opportunity to learn and show you that they've mastered the lesson, that they've gotten it. You know, like if this was a release and you thought it was cut and dry, it's not. It's not cut and dry. Like this is and I feel like it's not just allowing the student to become the master. I think it's, you know, a big part of this is also, you know, in that mastery, that you allow yourself to be taught, right, by a new master. That there's somebody else at your level that you can learn and exchange with, you know, that once they elevate, you can treat them like an equal, right? You can treat them like an equal. If they elevate, right? If they elevate, if they go from that student taking the lesson to the mastery of the self, right? Also being able to release their fears, also being able to have their cup overfloweth, you know, because they're already full, allowing their truth to come out, you know, allowing the ego to subside so that their intuitive, you know, heart space can be open and unblocked, you know, allowing this person the opportunity to do that too. Yeah, we're healing the throat chakra. Creativity. For the month of April, it's all about creative flow for you, Scorpio. Imagination, expression, originality, and passion. This is what you need to be focusing on. This person, if they're healing, whatever, that's fine. But you've got to be in full-blown creation mode. And if this is someone who's learning from you, then they're also learning as you continue to create that ripple, that loving ripple, right? That fearlessness. That I am filled, that I'm going to help everybody else feel filled. I'm going to help them achieve that for themselves. Right? Your cup overfloweth. You're creating. Scorpio is all about getting creative in April. That's the drive. It's pushing Scorpio to be creative. And to just do. I'm hearing it's like, because this person is like almost so in the background, it's like you're kind of ignoring the fact that they're there. Or you are completely oblivious to the fact that they're there. But they're definitely there. And they're definitely learning. Headspace, heart space. Sometimes you royally piss me off. Yeah, your head, when it comes to this person who betrayed you, sometimes you royally piss me off. That's their truth. Sometimes you piss them the fuck off. But once we start over, I promise we won't be separated again. This is the Ace of Pentacles. This is the stable new beginning. So whoever your Scorpio is, they know, like once you upgrade yourself, once you do become the master of yourself, you won't have any more problems being with them. There won't be any more hiccups. There won't be any more bumps or separations or reconciliations or whatever. You know that once this person masters themselves, it's on and you guys are in. That's what your heart knows, Scorpio. If this is your Venus, your heart knows. Once it starts over, it's for good. This person's upgrading, right? This person that is learning from you. Angel message. Yeah, you know what to do. Follow your gut. There's a reason. Trust yourself. Archangel Uriel, which is the light of God. Follow your light. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Trust your inner guidance. Call on Archangel Uriel to be your light, to be your divine light. And light your way. You know, it reminds me of the Hermit card, like go within. Heal within. You know what to do. You know what to do. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. Trust your heart. Trust your heart. And release your karmic. This could be you, it could be somebody else, but somebody is releasing their karmic. It's time. It's time to release your karma. The time has come to clear your karma. Time has come, Scorpio. Karma is over. The cycles are over. Scorpio, the cycles moving into May are over. They're over. You released your fears. You spend the whole month of April creating, letting this person observe, letting this person heal, letting your cup overfloweth with love. Silencing the ego and letting love just pour out. And releasing that karma, releasing that cycle. That woe is me, oh my God, I can't take anymore. You know, like, no more. There's no more of that. It's good. Once you start over, I promise you won't be separated again. That space is making promises. What to remember no matter what? Respect. Value everyone's unique perspective on the path of love. Respect everybody's opinion on it. Respect everybody's part in their journey. Respect their healing. Respect their process. Respect their soul contracts. Respect divine order. There's a method to the madness. Trust the divine. Respect the choices other people make. It's in their highest good for their healing, whether they like it or not, whether they realize it or not. Depending on what they chose to learn or didn't learn, you gotta respect the fact that those are the choices that they made. People make their beds, they lie in them, you do the same thing. You gotta respect the path of yourself and all others, no matter how different they are. You gotta release your own karma. You gotta continue to create and do you, no matter what your knight on his unicorn is doing. He's not going anywhere, he's still obviously around you. Still there. Observing and healing in the background. I feel like you have a lot of chemistry with this person. They just got a lot of work to do. And you just can't be bothered right now. You're so focusing on your creative energy. Seriously, Scorpio. Alright, so with that said, if Scorpio, you want more insights into, you know, the month of April and moving on to the rest of the year, I offer the Facebook groups, you know, my Zodiac Extendeds for 2019. I do the weekly readings in there for each of the signs. You get deeper insight, you know, way beyond, you know, just this stuff every week to kind of keep you in the flow. All of the messages that are there prior, you know, are there for the replay, and they're all held with the intention of definite time. So they make sense to you in hindsight about what was going on that week, you know, depending on what's going on in the energies. Like, now that you understand how this kind of sort of works, you have a little bit of a broader, you know, perspective. You can go back in hindsight and be like, oh my God, that's what happened. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you know, you'll start to see how those energies work. With that said, guys, until next time, love and light, love each other, love yourselves. Bye.